All right, so have you heard of this movie? It's called Most People Die on Sundays.
Ah, I haven't actually.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting title, right?
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean? Is that a real statistic, or is that like some kind of like a cultural saying?
Yeah, definitely makes you curious.
Yeah, so we're going to do a deep dive today into a film review of this movie, Most People Die on Sundays.
Yeah.
It's a 2024 film, so pretty recent, and it's an Argentine-Italian-Spanish production.
Wow, international.
Yeah, it's a comedy drama, and the review that we're going to be talking about today comes from the MovieKaTicket app.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it says that the film premiered at Cannes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and get this, it was nominated for the Queer Palm.
Interesting.
So yeah, right off the bat with that title and with those like accolades,
Yeah.
it's like you could kind of get the feeling that this is going to be something pretty heavy hitting.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, just thinking about that title, most people die on Sundays. Like right away, you think about mortality.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, well, it's a comedy drama. So how are they going to balance these ideas of death and, heavier topics with something that's also funny?
Yeah, definitely. And also it's got that like kind of family element to it too, because the main plot of the movie is about this guy, David.
Okay.
He's a 30-year-old gay man, and he goes back to Argentina for his uncle's funeral.
Okay, so there's the death part right there.
Yeah, exactly. And then while he's there dealing with that, his father is in a coma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so his mom has to make this decision about whether or not to take him off of life support.
So, yeah, a lot of difficult choices right there.
Yeah, a lot of like really intense emotional stuff.
Yeah, and you know what I think is interesting about this is that, even if we haven't been in that exact situation, those are themes that I think a lot of people can relate to. Like who hasn't had some kind of complicated family relationship or some past regret that they've had to deal with. Like
Yeah.
it's something so universal.
And that's kind of what this review was talking about, was that, this film really explores those themes of family dynamics.
Yeah.
And this guy, David's, like strained relationship with his father.
Oh, so this is something that's like front and center in the film.
Yeah. And then also, his own personal journey of self-discovery.
Right, because he's going through all this stuff at the same time.
Yeah. And the review really emphasizes how the film handles these really sensitive issues in a delicate way.
Yeah, well, I mean, considering that it premiered at Cannes, it's got to have something special going on.
Right. And then to be nominated for the Queer Palm on top of that.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
What do you think? Is it the way that it portrays, a gay character dealing with all of these, family expectations and these kind of like weighty decisions?
Yeah, it could be that. I mean, or, maybe it's the way that the film balances humor with the drama, like they were saying that it was a very delicate handling of these complex emotions.
Right. And there's that added element of it being this international co-production,
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Like you've got Argentina, Italy, Spain, all involved in the making of this film.
So you're getting different cultural perspectives coming into play.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes you think about, how David's own cultural background maybe influences the way that he's approaching these situations.
Right, because like we were saying, those universal themes can play out differently depending on where you are in the world and who you are.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in checking out this film, you can find more information on MovieKaTicket.com or on their app.
Yeah, but before you do that, maybe take a second and think about what you would do if you were in David's shoes, Like, how would you navigate this situation of, grieving for your uncle and then dealing with your father's, potential death and all these complicated family relationships?
It's definitely a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it makes you think.
It does. So that's it for our deep dive today into Most People Die on Sundays.
Fascinating stuff.
Until next time.
See you then.